know, I don't think they really wanted to go over 20 January at all. So that is unlike. But let us see, because I don't think you really have a lot more left to do, because you're already going to go into your something there. So yeah, I don't think it have so much more to do. So let's see. Let's see. One day at a time, but still, that don't mean so you must put in the work and do what you have to do in order
Miss,
to be.
where we going to the final assessment?
What I mean,
The final exam?
after remember I said okay. So this is how it goes. After each cluster or each unit, whatever you do your internal, and
Yeah.
then you do your final. No, your internal practicals are your final practicals. That means you do not do it again. The only thing so you have to get it up to the level, right? It has to be to the level where if the assessor sees it, then they don't have to say you have to come in to do something. So the practical aspect of your internal evidence is your final practical. You are not coming in again to do any more practical activity pertaining to whatever unit or cluster you are doing. The only thing you would have to be doing is a final theory exam.
Yeah, so where we going to that theory exam?
It depends on if the persons can do it at home, then fine, if they have the equipment. If not, you would have to come into the institution,
Okay.
right? So if you know that you don't have the tool to do it, just like when you do your internal, it's the same way.
Okay, miss.
But the thing is, it's the same platform, but the only thing is that you have the time period within to do it. You don't have the 2, 3, 4, 5 days in. No. If it's the assessment date, that's the date you have to stick with to do the assessment based on the assessment office. So you don't really have much of a choice when you come on to assessment. When you have exam date, it's just like if you have CXC exam, they give you the date and that's it. They don't care. The day is just a day. You miss it, you just miss it. Right? So we have to treat exam as an exam. It's an exam, it's your final exam. Once you have put in all your internal assessments, because remember it is 4 pieces of work per whatever unit that you're doing or cluster you're doing. It is 4 pieces of work you're getting graded for. Once all those 4 pieces of work are handled and graded, then your instructor will send in those grades in order for you, with your evidence, in order for you to do your exams. But without the evidence, you won't be able to go up for any exam. Clear?
Yes, miss, that's understandable.
Right. So I hope everybody who's here know, and I'm speaking to know, Latoya, Nashana, Sashna, and Cherise, also you do understand that without your, and the thing is, the longer you take to give in your practical and your whatever work you have to do, it's the longer it takes for the teacher to do what she has to do in order to send in what she needs to send in order for you to do your exams. So we have to try and meet the timelines. It's actually the end of a quarter, so that means all that she's doing now needs to wrap up in order for her grades to come in order for her to you guys to sit your exams for those that you have those units now that you're completing, right? So let us work towards finishing in the time period and finish within the time period that you're allotted for whatever units or clusters that you have. All right?
Yes, miss.
Clear, Sashna?
Yes, miss.
So Cherise, is it clear?
Yes, miss.
I'm, I'm asking if what I've seen was clear.
Miss, I want to repeat it for me, please. I was kind of doing something at the moment.
That is why you fail exam.
Miss, Miss, I'm me alone. I'm gonna look after the baby. That's why.
Oh, but I'm saying, but Cherise, well, if you're moving away, semi school, I kind of distracted, you can,
Miss, I run him down. Him take up my something. I'm gonna want him mash it up, miss. I run him down. Miss, from here that there's something pertaining to practical, and we have to do it in order and send them in order for we get grades and stuff.
Yeah, basically. In the time period.
Period that it was given, yes, miss.
Right. So I have to try meet our deadlines. All right. All right, Latoya, can mute your mic, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. So let us recap what we did last time. Can anybody remember some of the things that we covered in the class? What was a couple of the things that we did in class last week? Based on the practical work, Microsoft Word. What are the couple of things that we covered in our last class? And for what I'm seeing, it's only 2 persons look like them are part of the class, because based on I went to my email and I checked who sent me my work. Only Janelle and I think it was Shashna. That's your email, Shashna? The Love Sash? That's yours?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
miss.
only 2 persons sent me my work. What happened to the others?
Which work that, miss?
The home work that I sent last week after class. You didn't receive it?
Miss, no, remember say my laptop did broke down in a miss, so we just up and running, you know.
I must remember that your laptop break down. I never know we had that conversation, Sherry.
Miss, I never use, sorry. Why am I miss with teacher them? Sorry, miss.
Oh. Because I wonder what you're thinking about.
Sorry, miss. Because you did you.
What about you, Nasha? What happened to my homework?
If I'm just give me something to them, I'm telling them I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna add it now. I'm do it tonight and send it to you.
Oh, that's you. Okay, I got you. Latoya?
Miss?
It's you just tell me what the homework.
You did not receive it. I sent it to you.
When was that?
When was that?
Yes.
I sent it last week, sometime last week. I don't remember.
What's your email?
LatoyaGale111@gmail.com.
All right, let me check it, Latoya. What's that? No, Latoya, I've not received any email from you.
Okay, I'm going to resend it.
I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
Okay,
Only person that signed was from Sashna and Janelle. Those are the only persons I saw the homework from.
I'm going to resend it.
All right, so can you please, I'm asking persons to give me some things that we covered in our last class. What were some things that we covered in the last class?
Miss, you were teaching us how to upload pictures on Microsoft Word, and you were teaching us about the alignment, which goes left, right, and center. You teach us about font.
Okay.
And how to turn up the brightness and the dullness of on a picture. If it's too bright, then you turn it down.
Okay.
And you teach us about bold, initialize, and underline.
Utilize
That's all I
and
remember.
that you remember a lot. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Anything that you think he didn't say?
And Miss, you taught us about copy and cut,
Right. Right. Good.
save and save as.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Good. So we did cover a good amount in our last class. I'm going to share my screen because I want to show you. So Janelle, while you did do the homework, there were some, it wasn't really what, how it should be done. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to
Miss,
show you.
I'm not sure I'll be able to see your screen because I'm not home as yet, but let's see.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Oh yes, it's sharing, Miss.
Okay. This is Sashna on, which is how I expected it to do. What happens is each sentence, and then she made the changes for each sentence based on what they were
Okay.
asking for. Right? So this is how it should have been. Very good attempt, Sashna. I think there was not they didn't ask for a picture. No
Yes,
picture was.
because me the right click on my computer and laptop now work, so
Oh,
I
okay.
can't get to upload one.
Okay. All right. So this is a very good attempt to see basically this is basically what I was asking for, except for the missing of the picture. All right. So very good work. I still want my homework from everybody who don't give me my homework, please and thank you.
Miss, me I do it over and make you get it.
Homework is not for my school. The homework is for you to make sure that you're understanding what you have learned, not for my school. The school do it already. This is for you to get the practice in. So when you come on to the final test and your exam, you'll be fine. The only exam you do both theory and practical for is Miss School own. So you will have to do backup. So after we finish all our internal theory and the practical, you will have to do back a theory and a practical for IT as well. So bear that in mind. Okay, good. So there's a few more things I want to cover in Microsoft Word that we did not get to do. So let us, did we do border? Did border in a,
I'm not sure. No, Miss, you didn't teach us border.
all right, so let us go into that. So let us put a border. So when you're putting in a border in Microsoft Word, you go to design on your, what's the top part here called? What's the top part here called? What we call here at the top? What we call the part where you have the file? The what?
Ribbon.
The ribbon. Good. So you click on design on the ribbon. Then you look for page border. Then you look for the, so you have where it says style, and you choose a style for the border that you want. You can also choose a color. So there's color below here, and you can pick a color, and then you can click OK. Right? That's for regular borders. So it is design, then page border, then you look for the style that you want. If you want to have a color, then fine, you choose a color, and then you click OK. So that's basically it for the border. Any question on that?
Yes, Miss, you can just start over the process and show me it all back again, or you get
Okay,
it.
not a problem. So on the ribbon, you look for design on the ribbon. So remember, it's automatically on home. You look for design on the ribbon. Then you look for page border. Then under style, you choose the type of border that you want. You can also choose a color if you wish, depending on what you're doing. And then you click OK. And that's how you have a border for your page. That's for the page border. There's another thing on page. It's clear?
Yes, miss.
I don't ask if it's clear.
Yes, miss.
All right. So let's say you want one of the art borders. You know the art border is a fanciful one them. So on the same page border platform, you look at art. You go under where art is, and then you will choose a border that you want. So it all depends on what you're doing. Remember now, when you're doing your regular projects, I'll advise you to use a style border. But when you're doing like flyers, brochures, things like that, you can use an art border to enhance your presentation. Flyers, brochures, you know, things like that. You can choose an art border to enhance what you're doing. Right? So you have these all heap of different color borders, art borders that you can choose from. And it all depends on what you're doing. So be mindful not to choose when you have a regular project, if it's reading Microsoft Word, you do not need to use art borders. You use a regular style borders. But for art borders, it all depends on what you're doing. You have to be mindful of before you can choose a border. So that's for border. All right, I know I didn't show you this, but I had to, so I didn't show you the table. I think what I sent you was an updated one. So let me go through tables in this before. So for table, when you're going to, so any question pertaining to borders, are we okay? If we want to put a border, we are okay in order to put a border. Yes, no, maybe so.
Miss. Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
All right. So let's go next to tables. Now table, where you're going in table, you go to insert on your ribbon. Then you look for table. Now, in this section here, you have a shortcut. This is the shortcut section. We're not going to use a shortcut because sometimes you might have more rows and columns than is what is on the shortcut here. So when you're inserting a table, you go to table, then insert table, then you choose how many rows you want and how many columns. Now rows are going across, columns are going down. Rows are going what?
Cross.
Rows are going across and columns are going down.
Good. So let's say I want 2 headings. How many columns would I need? I want 2 headings in my table.
2 columns.
2 columns, good. I have to have 2 columns because I want 2 headings. So I'm changing it to 2. And let's put it to like, so it all, as I said, it all depends because you could get a question that gives you more than 10 rows or more than 20. Depends on what you get. You count how many rows and how many columns that you need. And then you use this format in order to do it. So when you go to rows and the columns, then you will click OK, and then you'll insert your table. Right, and you click OK, and then you can. So we have the rows, and we have the rows going across, and the columns going down. But here we already have information in tables already. So let us use this table that we already have some information in. Now there's a way now you can able to fancy up a table. You can click on the table. What will come up on your ribbon is table design. And you can easily click a table style. Now this table style will enhance your table so it does not look regular. So this allows you to enhance your presentation, whatever you're doing. There are so many to choose from, and you can able to choose and pick and choose whatever you want to use in order for it to enhance your presentation of what you're doing. So the table don't have to look plain. You can look colorful, and you can go to table design and choose the color that you want or the design that you want in order for it not to look as plain as how it was when it looked. So there are so many to choose from. How many knew you had this on it? Nobody knew that you had table design and can color your table?
No, miss.
Right. So if you're doing even a PowerPoint presentation and you have to put in a table, you can do this as well. And you can put the color, you can choose a color that, and it enhances what you're doing. So it does not look regular. Right? So you can write the information, and the same like how we did bold, italic, and so on. You can select what you're doing, and you can do the same thing. You can change the color of the writing. You can change anything you want. You can change the style of the writing and so on in the table. So you can pretty much do anything you want in the table, just as how you would do outside of the table. So it all depends on what you're doing. You can fancy the table, you can change the style, you can underline. Remember, use for underline. Say if you want to underline your heading, if you want to bold it all depends on what you want to do. So the same concepts that you use regularly can be used in the table. Right? And that's basically how for tables. Let me see if there's anything else that I didn't say. Right. So we got to insert, and we did the that. Okay. I want to show you something now. Another thing we can do is use text box. Now text box can allow you to also enhance your presentation as well. And you can write in a text box. So you go to insert, you go to text box, and you can draw your text box. And you can put your information in the text box. You can also change the size of the writing, the style of the writing, same thing. Like usual, you can change the size. Right? Now, this is a little thing now you can also do. Now, when you have use a text box, something say shape format comes up on your ribbon. you can able to change the color of that box. So this is another enhancement as well. You can change the color and enhance what you're doing. What would be some uses we can use for this? What would be the what would be a way we can use a text box with information in it? Anyone can tell me? What will be the purpose of using text box and how we can use text box to enhance anything that we're doing?
It's like, for example, like if you give example about steps of some things, then you can use the boxes like
Okay.
step 1, step 2, step 3.
Oh, okay. So one below the other, like
Yes, miss. Or you can go across as well.
across. Okay, good. So you can able to. That's a way to know to don't make it just look so regular. If you come on out and you write, you don't want anything to look so regular. You want it to. It's another way of enhancing whatever you're doing, right? And you can change the color in the box as well, right? To change the color that you want. So if you don't want the color that is there, you can change it to whatever color in the box as well. That's in the text box. And the text, suppose you have something written and you want it to cover. Text box can cover the information. So you can cover over it. So suppose you did this was there, you really were having issues to take it off. You kind of just and you cover everything over there. And when you go file and print, all you would see is the food and beverage. You see? So cover over the information. You're not seeing what was built up behind the box. So the box covering it. The text box covers it.
Miss,
Yes.
what if you want to make a flyer, miss? How you go about doing that?
The flyer. Okay, so you see the same basic concepts that we're talking about here. You can use this.
Yeah.
You can use the let me show you one more thing before we can go in a flyer. I'm going to show you word art and then I can talk about flyer next.
Okay.
Right, so we can use text box and we can also use word art, which is another way to fancy up your document. So you go to insert, then to the right here, so we say insert word art. Once you click on insert word art, we choose whichever one that we want, whichever color or design that you want. And then it says your text here. And then you're able to now put a heading. Let's call it food and beverage segment. Now the thing about this now, same like how you could do the color and everything, it's the same way in your text box, it has the same concept. However, one thing about this, you can able to shape your text. So we go to text effects, then we go to transform, then we transform the word. That's another way to enhance what you're doing. Notice that it changes shape. So we go to text effect, transform, and we choose a shape in order to enhance what we're doing. So it all depends on what you're doing, right? You can able to change the shape in Microsoft Word. You're not going to, when you're using word art, you're not going to be able to do it to regular. If you type it regularly on your Word document, right? You see what it does to the shape? You see the difference?
Yes, miss.
Sash, now you see the difference?
Yes, miss.
What about you, Lashana? You see the difference? Latoya? Cherise?
Yes, miss.
Come on, I need some participating. Are you seeing the difference between when I change the word art, the shape? You can also change the color as well. All right. So you were asking now, Janelle, is
Yes, miss, about the
about,
flyer, miss.
okay, so the flyer can be done using the same concepts you learn. You can use word art as your heading. You can put your picture in there. You can, so you must first of all, you want, okay, let me just show something. You can build it from scratch, or in Microsoft Word, you have some generic ones, which you can also fix to your benefit. So we go file a new, you see some different flyers that are there, and you can fix it. So you don't have to start from scratch. You can choose a template. It's called a template. And then you can add or take away whatever information that you want. You see the many different flyers that are there in Microsoft Word? You seeing it? Are you seeing
Yes.
Can go back over that part?
Okay. In Microsoft Word, you do have some flyer templates that you can use and then fix it to your benefit. When you go to File and New, you can look for the heading that says Flyers, and you can choose one that is already there and fix it. You can add or you can take away and fix it to your benefit. So this allows you not to be doing it from scratch. So you can use the templates and then you can fix to whatever thing that you're doing. So you can just look at what is there. If you had to copy a picture from online and use it and put it in there, take out what is there. You can use this platform to build a flyer. Just take away what you don't need and put in what you need. You can use the same word art. You can get your pictures them. You use what is there. It's a template, and you fix it. So there are so many templates you can choose from. And then you can fix and put it or you want it. So if you click on one, and then you click create, you can fix it. You can take out what you want to take out, right? What you want to put in. You can change your picture if you don't want that, but you can use the same concept. Just add what you need to add and take out what you need to take out. So flyers, what they do now, they don't make it so hard again. They give you templates so you can use and fix to your benefit. Clear?
Yes, miss.
So you don't have to start from scratch, Janelle. You can just go to File, New, choose a template, fix it, take out what you need to take out, put in what you want to put in. And you finish in no time. I stopped build flyer from scratch. I just look, sometimes you can even find some online that you can look at and just use the same concept and fix it to your benefit. So that's my advice when you're doing flyers. Yeah, I'm not telling you to do it from. I just say use what is there and fix it how you want it. Change your color if you need to change your color. Change the style if you need to change the style. You know, but use the same concept. You can use the same concepts and build it from there. Yeah. And that's basic. Okay, one more thing I need to show in Microsoft Word. One sec, please. You still seeing the screen? You see the thing what say food and beverage?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so the other thing we're going to do, the last thing in Microsoft Word is inserting shapes. Inserting shapes. Now, shape is another way to enhance your document. So when you go to insert, you look for shapes and you can choose the shape that you want. Right? You can choose the shape that you want, and it's another way you can type into the shape. So you click on the shape that you want, you click and you drag to the size that you want the shape. And then you can type in the shape. So shape is another way to you can enhance if you're doing flyers as well. You can still change the color because shape format comes up. You can change the color if you don't want that color. You can change the color of the shape. You can change the color of the writing. You can change the size. You can change the style, right? So shape is another way to enhance whatever you're doing. Even a PowerPoint presentation, you can use that. You can use it in there. Suppose you want a separation in between two topics. You can put this in one slide and then go to the next one. Keep on putting in something like this. So shape is a good tool to use for enhancement as well. And when you go to insert and shapes, there are many shapes to choose from. Right? It's another enhancement. And you can type into the shape. Any question? Are we good?
Yes, miss.
Tarish, Tashna, Lashana, Latoya.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss, I'm good.
All right. So that's it basically for Microsoft Word. If you think you need, if you think by when you go to come to our next class, you say, Miss, you know, say, I didn't want to know this. Just think of anything else you would want to know anywhere. But basically, I am finished with Microsoft Word. So, and you know, say, Miss Cole will send homework. All right. Let me stop sharing a sec. All right, so that's it for Microsoft Word. So the next thing we're going to be going into, and we're going to be starting this evening, is Microsoft Excel. Who can tell me what they know about Excel? What do you know about Excel? Latoya, tell me what you think. What you know about Excel?
Well, Excel is a Microsoft application that allows you to maintain records, just such as it allows you to maintain records. You can do like average to find the average of items, to find the sum of items. It also allows you to
You can find several things using Microsoft Excel, similar to Microsoft Word.
All right. Thank you very much, Latoya. What about you, Nashana? What do you know about Microsoft Excel? Nashana? Is Nashana have to go run off for the baby again? Sashna?
Miss,
Yes.
it is used to organize data and, and financial analysis.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Cherise? Cherise?
Yes, miss?
Can you tell me what you know about Microsoft Excel?
Miss, me, I be honest with you. I know a thing.
Oh, give me. Nothing at all?
No, miss.
No. You don't know nothing about Excel? Never seen
No,
it
miss.
before, never know.
Miss, me see it before in a thing, but
What it used for, you don't know. You have never used it.
No, miss.
Janelle?
So I me the computer in a class in history.
Go ahead, Latoya.
Miss, I was just about to add that you can, like Microsoft Word, you can create, edit, and share information, just like you were showing us about the headings and how we can change it, and the font and the color. Microsoft Word offers a easy way to do so as well. We can also insert like tables, charts, pie charts, and it can do a lot of stuff, but those are just a few things that it can be used for.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Latoya. Very
You're
good.
welcome.
All right. So, for Excel that we are going to be doing today, we're going to try and do that today. We are going to be learning the basics about Excel, but these are the basic functions we're going to be learning. It's how to multiply cells, sum, minimum, maximum, and average. Those are the basic functions you're going to be learning. Also, we're going to be learning how to insert a chart in Excel. And how to convert if you only put in.
Miss, excuse me a bit here.
Okay. If you're going to, how to format your cells to make sure you have the dollar signs and so on. So we're going to be doing all of that. Just a sec, please. I did not remember that somebody. Just a sec, please.
So, guys, I'm going to continue with the lesson. Miss Gan?
used to always make the person. They used to always make you
Hello, is anybody here?
whoever that person is. Tag them and let them know.
Hello?
Oh, because me, I wonder what happened.
No, she just take a minute. Hello?
Sherry is control the sound.
Yes, sorry about that, everybody. I didn't remember that another teacher had to be let on to another class. Okay, let me share my screen and we're going to go right into Excel. Let me know when you're seeing the screen, please.
See the screen, miss.
All right, so this is Excel. Now, Excel, one thing with Excel, it recognizes functions and formulas. You cannot multiply words. You cannot divide. You cannot calculate words, but it goes by functions and formulas. Now, in Excel, when you're doing any function or formula, you must start with an equal sign. You must start with what?
Equal sign.
Equal sign. Anything you're doing in Excel, anything, whether you multiply, whatever it is you're doing, you must start with an equal sign or it is not going to work. So every function that you do must start with an equal sign. Now, when we were in Word a while ago talking about rows and columns, it is the same concept in Excel. In Excel, columns are going down, that's the letters. You see the letters A, B, C, so on. You see the letters?
Yes, we're seeing it.
Right? So those are the columns, and the numbers which are going across are the rows. Columns going down, rows going across. Right? So in Excel, each of these little boxes, are you seeing all of these boxes? You seeing them? Each of these little boxes are called cells. And in the cells, each cell has a name. And the name start with the column, then the row. So if you notice to the left-hand corner of the screen, it is saying A1 because we're in A1 cell. So if I go to G, if I click here in one of the other cells, it tells me exactly where I'm at. That's the name of the cell. So I'm at G, but I'm at A. So it is showing me G8. So anywhere I click the box in the boxes, it shows me exactly where I am. The cell address or the cell name. That's what it is. The cell name or the cell address. Right? Each of the cells has a name, and the name starts with the column and then the row. All right. Just a sec again. I think I have to switch a little the other teacher. No, I'm not that ready as yeah. One sec, please. right, sorry about that. So let us now do a couple of the functions. So I'm going to type some headings, items. You see in the screen, right?
Yes, miss.
Quantity, cost, and total. Give me about 4 items, the name of 4 items. Give me a name about 4 items, please. Anything.
Apples, orange, bananas.
All right. Apples, oranges. You know, say it mention apple. No, me remember say me have apple. Mangoes. What else?
Bananas.
Banana. All right, let us work with that. How many apples would you want? And we want everything above 1. Just give me some quantity figures. Just give me some figures. Anything above 1.
Miss like 5 apple, 10 orange,
Right, 5, 10.
15 mango, and 20 banana. Me soon come, me come put a bed. Man can't deal with.
Osh, darling, that's what happens when you're a mama. Okay, so for the cost section, you want the cost for an individual item. So I want the cost of 1 apple, 1 orange, 1 mango, and 1 banana.
So $20 for one apple,
20.
30 for orange,
All right.
40 for mango, and 50 for banana.
You're just making all of this up here. Okay. You notice that I didn't have any dollar sign, right? Because you're not able to tell if this is money or not. But we'll soon get into that. Now we have quantity and we have cost. How do you think we're going to get this total figure going across here? What do you think we can do in order to get the total here?
Miss.
Yeah.
First you enter the equal sign.
No, hold on. I don't want you to tell me the formula. I want you to tell me what do we have to do in order to get the figure, the total figure.
Oh, times the cost by the quantity.
Good. We must multiply our quantity times our cost in order to get our total figure. Great. So in Excel, as we stated, what is the first thing we have to do in order to start a formula in Excel?
Enter the equal sign.
Equal sign. Good. So you click on your equal sign. Now, where is the first quantity figure? Where is the first quantity figure? What cell address is it at?
B2.
All right. Anybody seeing that? Anybody else seeing that? Where is the quantity figure?
Yes, ma'am.
It was me. Never.
So we're at B, but and the figure is where the 2 is. So we can use our mouse and click on it. If you notice, it does not show the figure, it shows the cell address. It shows the cell address and not the figure. Right? Because what happens? One sec, please, somebody. Oh, Jabil is here. Oh, okay, so we can, so in So we have equal and we click at B2. It is not the figure, it is the cell address. Now in Excel, the star in Excel is a multiplication sign. The star, so we have to look for the star on our keyboard. The star in Excel is a multiplication sign. So we press shift to get it, shift and 8 to get the star. And then now we will click at our cost figure and press enter. It is equal the first cell times the next cell. I will press enter. If we change the figure, the formula remains. So if we change the figure, you notice the figure changes, but the formula remains. So that's why we use formula and not the figures. Because if you put the figures, we're going to have to keep on typing over the figures. So that's why we use the formulas. Let's go again. So it is the equal sign. You click on your first cell. We'll put our times, which is above the 8, which is the star. And then we click on our next cell and we press enter. Let me do that one more time. Equal sign. We use our mouse, click on the first cell. We'll put the multiplication sign and then we click on our second cell and we press enter. Right? So what would be now the formula to get the total for bananas? How will we get the formula for bananas now? The banana figures. What will be the first thing in Excel when we're doing Excel in Excel? What's the first thing?
The equal sign.
Equal sign. Then what is next? So we're going to, what the next step we're going to be doing in order to get these two?
Click on C. Click on C5.
All right, we can click on C5. Then what comes next?
Shift and press the 8 button.
To get the what?
The asterisk, the star.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, same thing. And then?
Then you click on B5, then enter.
Great, excellent. So here are the formulas now. Any questions, anybody else? Anybody?
It's just a question.
Yes.
When we're doing this, instead of having to do it do each of the items by itself, could we just autofill?
Yes, but I'm not teaching shortcut, darling. Okay. Remember, I have to be teaching for everybody to understand based on, everybody's not at the same place. So I am teaching one thing. I don't like to teach shortcut as yet. What happens is that you can have figure here, sir. And over here. Can you autofill? Can you autofill? Right. So I want to teach you, say, anywhere you are at, you can use a formula and multiply any two cells. Depends on where, no matter where you're at. So must know the right, the longer way. Shortcut can always come, but if you know the way, the concept, how to do it manually, it becomes easier. You can multiply any figures anywhere on the page. So that's how you multiply two cells. Right? So here what? Let us go one more. I'm going to teach one more thing because I think, Abil? Mr. Hello, Jabel? All right, no answer. All right, so let's go to, so the next thing we're going to be doing now is minimum. Let's put us first thing, sum, then minimum, then maximum, then average. All right, and I think after teach these formulas here, so I will finish with that and then we'll wrap up Excel in our next class. All right, so what is the first thing that we say we must do in order to do any formula in Excel?
The equal sign.
Equal sign. So we want to find the sum of our cost figures. Let us find the sum of our cost figures. So we say equal sign. The next thing we're going to type in is sum. Equal, then SUM. Then we open our bracket. We use the mouse and click our first figure. Where is the first figure at cost? Where is the first figure at cost?
C2.
C2, right? Then we're going to be using the colon. And the colon, you have to press shift to get the colon, which is the 2 dots. Where is the last figure under cost?
C5.
And then we click at C5. Then we close our brackets and press enter. So it's equal, sum, open bracket. Now, if you look at the top here of your screen, yes? Oh, is the baby talking?
Zai, where you turn on the class?
So, if you're finding the sum, no, if you look at the top now, where's the fx, this is your function, your formula bar. So it shows you every formula or anything that you type in, anything you type goes into this section. So your formula is in that section. So if you want to see if your formula, you want to see back with formula that you did, you click on this section and you see the formula comes up. In the fx, which is also the formula bar. So we'll find the sum. Now, how do you think that we could find the minimum? Now, here's what happens. With the minimum, the process remains its own thing, the word change. So what do you think would have find the minimum now of the cost figures? The only thing changes the word, but it's the same process. How do you think would have find the minimum now of the cost figures?
Equal.
Mm-hmm.
You enter MIN. Then it will appear, you click on it, open bracket.
Right.
And highlight C2 to C5.
All right, great. So it is equal, MIN. You open the bracket. You have to press shift to open the bracket. Then we click on our first figure. We go our colon. And we click on our last figure. And we close the bracket. And we press enter. And that's the minimum. Same process for maximum. The only thing changes is the word. So it is what? Tell me the formula now for maximum.
Open bracket.
What's the first thing?
Sorry. Equal sign. Then you have type max.
Right?
open bracket,
Uh-huh.
C2 to C5,
What is a 2 in Excel?
the colon,
Right. And then we click on
enter.
Control C5, then you close the bracket and you press enter. And the last one is average. Same process. The only thing changes is the word. And one thing, there is no shortening for average function. So let's go. Tell me the average one.
Equal sign, AVG.
There's no shortening. You have to spell out the word average. There's no shortening for average in Excel. You have to spell out everything.
Then
Continue.
open bracket,
Yes.
C2 colon C5. Then close bracket, enter.
All right. So those are the functions that you mainly need to know. Are there any questions, anybody? Any questions, Lashana? Lataya? Jabil?
No questions for me.
Sashna?
No, miss.
Everything? Lashana?
Last right alone, actually, the honest truth.
You're lost? I keep on asking, but nobody is not answering. But you came in late too.
Yes,
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Miss
All right,
Jackson, my
Mr. Nice
foot off
Baby.
the bus.
Mr. Nice Baby. Tell us, me baby.
Jabil, that's your name, right?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Maybe you need to come in and do some one-on-one practice in the class, outside the class. You hear?
Okay, miss.
Right? I will send the recording. You can follow step by step. I use the computer same time. You understand? And follow the step by step. And know exactly what you're doing step by step for the different formulas. All right. One sec, please. The teacher calling me back. One sec, please. Hello. Sorry about that, everybody. So, are you hearing me?
Yes, miss.
All right.
Yes,
So,
miss.
for today, we have wrapped up Microsoft Word. We have done 4 formulas: sum, minimum, maximum, and average. So I won't go into anything more in that. For those who have difficulties, I'm going to ask you to come in on the compound and use a computer and get a little practice on that. If you're having difficulties, listen back to the recording and so on. As usual, I'll be sending you the recording and I'll be sending an activity for what we went through today. Please, I implore you to listen back to the recording and also do the activities, right? What was the date I gave for the internal test?
The 20th of October.
That is a practical, not the theory. I can't suffer down. I suffer down? I suffer down for the theory? I can't suffer down. Can't suffer down at all. Let me check back. I don't think it's a far. I sent so much email, I don't even. I want to send it again. Okay, it's October 13. October 13th is the date, man. I know it wasn't so far down. October 13th for the theory. That is week after next week. Wednesday. Oh, no, make it the 12th because we don't have class on Wednesday. So we're putting for the 12th. So the 12th is for the theory test. In our next class, we're going to wrap up Excel. And then we're going to do a little revision for the theory test for the following week. Right?
Okay.
We're almost at the finish line. The dates have to go change somewhat to match the day we have class. So it won't be the 13th, it will be the 12th, and then the 26th. The 26th will be the practical part. So as I implore persons, and remember, the assignment due on Friday. The assignment is due on Friday. All right. And I'm going to say it again. So Friday, expect to see the assignments in. And we can tick that off and say that is out of the way. Then the next thing on the 12th, we have the theory test. And then the next thing after that is the 26th, we have the practical. And we get that out of the way. Jabil, you need to come in so you can get the practice. All right? And Mr. Williams is there that he can assist you. If you're having difficulties or anybody who have difficulties, come in, use the computer in the computer lab and get a little bit more practice. And try and do the homework. I'm going to send you homework by now and tomorrow give me until tomorrow evening to send the homework. I'm going to send some practice questions as well. They can look at those questions. So when you come on to the test time, it won't be so unfamiliar to you. All right.
Okay, miss.
Are there any questions? We're going to wrap up for today. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know it's in the evening, so I don't want to keep you for the straight 2 hours. We can wrap up here for today. Any questions? So
No.
Jabil, yes, go ahead.
No, I was saying no, miss.
All right. Nashana, okay. Jabil, so which day you're coming in, Jabil, to do the practice? Jabil? All right, so you're going to come in one day and then you're going to do all of the activities that are sent and get back the practice and get the practice in, all right?
Okay.
Right, and you're going to, right, good. All right, anybody, if there's not be any more questions, what I could, you see if you, tomorrow is what? If persons want, you can send me your assignment before Friday and let us see if you're on the right track before Friday. And I can send you back to make sure you're on the right track for the assignment. But it cannot be Friday. Send me and say, can look at this, please. It must be before Friday. So you can send it to me. I'll look at it, and I can give you the advice to make sure so you're on the right track. All right. You can send it to me by Thursday morning, the latest, and I can guide you to make sure it's okay. But other from that, if it comes Friday, that is what is going to be graded. So they won't have any chance to fix anything. You have to send me from before I see it and I guide you. All right? Fair enough?
Yes, miss.
So if persons don't use up the opportunity, I can't help them. Tell your friend them, the one who not come and no class. All right, everybody, do have a good night.
Same to
Take
you.
care of yourself, keep safe, and work smarter, not harder. All right, everybody, have a good evening.
Okay, good night to you, miss.
Night. And I need to see the picture of the baby, okay? I need to see the picture of the baby was a part of the class.
Oh. Miss Shigan, she not here.
All right. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good evening.